Here is a data binder that you're able to use with your students. Now, I first want to let you know that this is totally customized, and if you need help customizing it, let me know. But I did want to throw everything on here that I have, and it's probably going to keep growing as I have things or as people request them. But again, you're going to customize this for your classroom with what you need. So I wanted there to be more, but take away as needed. All right, let's go ahead and dig into this data binder. So right here, students will go ahead and put their name, their grade, the year, and we can update that if we need to. And then if you have a resource hub for your students, they can click and they're able to view all the resources needed for the year. So it's all kind of in one place. Because with their data binder, they should be going to this very often to learn more about them and to track their goals. So this does not need to be completed all at once, and it probably shouldn't be completed all at once. So maybe the month of August and September, students are just kind of working on their learner profile. And so during this time, you might be using morning meetings or your E&I time to have students kind of work through this. So here they're going to put their birthday. What is their dream job when they get older? What do they want to be? What's their favorite part of school? Do they like ELA, math, social studies? What do they do outside of school? And then how do they learn best? And there's some drop downs here. But students, if they want to, they can just kind of type also their answers. But again, there are some drop downs if a student might need that support. They can only pick one thing from the drop down, but again, they can kind of use the drop down and type as needed. And what I would kind of do is just have students copy and paste. On a team, I would like to be. So, what part of a team would they like to be? What role would they like to have? What are their strengths? What are their challenges? And then this is where we get into the surveys. So, again, students could probably fill this out the first week of school. Here, it might take them a couple weeks to fill out, especially if you're going to use all these personality, get to know you type of surveys. However, you don't need to use all of these surveys. Again, totally up to you. These are just what I've created for multiple different teachers in the past with the help of mostly Luis. So, what you're going to do is I put the resource for you to create this data binder. So for you to create this data binder, there's a video resource. And in that video resource, if you go to the YouTube description, there's going to be links to the actual spreadsheets you need to copy and all of that information. If you need any help though, please, please, please let me know. Okay, so again, let me know if you need help with any of these documents. Also, I put the lowest area so I know what to focus on with that student. You can change this to the highest level if you wanted to, or you can take it out. So, again, you can take out anything that you might need. You're also able to leave anything that you might need as well. Right here, this is a reflection that I've worked on with Tara Ruckman, and you can see this complete hub of different resources in this reflection area. You could create a hub with all of your different reflections for your students, or you could just link the one that you need. So maybe you want to do a grade check. So instead of putting reflections, you could write grade check, hyperlink it, and then if you wanted to, you could write something right here. Or we could get rid of this box as well. You do you math. Again, you might not need that. So anything that you might not want to use, again, we are able to take off. I would probably pick between one of these personality tests. I don't think I would need to do both. Now, I might do one in the fall and maybe one in the winter if I wanted to do it that way. So, again, all of these activities might not be completed at the beginning of the year, and you can kind of pick and choose which ones you want to use and which ones you don't want to use. Down here, the About Me, again, there's drop downs. So, again, students can pick and choose what they need to kind of learn best. If they need to, they will need to type again all of the answers to fit in that response if there's more than one from that drop out down list, or they could come up with their own. But again, this is just to kind of get their brain thinking of what some options could be, but it's not limited to that. So again, these are just kind of about me, the strategies that might help students when they're stuck. And then over here, they prefer to learn something new by, and all of those different questions. Again, feel free to take out these questions if needed. You could also, again, have the students complete this by the end of August or August and September. It doesn't need to be completed all on day one when we're back from school. This is an ongoing document. Also, feel free to delete or keep this, but I thought it would be kind of fun if students could insert an image of themselves. So to do that, they would go to insert, and then they would go to image, and then they would insert the image in this cell, and they would add their image. They can also go to camera and they can take a picture right like that, and it will be added into their box. So I just thought that could be kind of fun to see students at the beginning of the year to the end of the year and how much they've grown. It can also be really helpful for you as a teacher at the beginning of the year learning names. Then this next tab, focus and goals. And if you want to delete any of these tabs, you're just going to go to that little arrow and you're going to hit delete. But this next one is focus and goals. So with focus and goals, what's going to happen is right here, this is our yearly calendar. So you can add whatever you want to add to these calendars. Just know that once you send this out to students and you force a copy to them for their own data binders, they cannot edit. So once you have made those updates to the calendar, students will not be able to update or edit. So if there's something that you want to put in here, make sure you do that before, or you can have students do it themselves. But this, again, can kind of help students with managing their time when they are going through the year. The next thing over here is their goal. So using the SMART goal, and here's that framework. I will blank by blank. I will reach my goal by blank. And so students are able to use that sentence starter to kind of help them craft out that message. And then down here where it says check-in, you are able to conference with students one-on-one, and you're able to have them check in with you by date. So if you use a Google form, you could link that Google form right here. If you just have students write their name up on the board or do Google Calendar appointment slots. However you do that, you're able to do that for your students, and then just checking in with them, having a quick data chat and just saying, hey, you said you were going to do this goal. How's it going? What's your action steps? What have you done? Feel free also, if you wanted to, you can add action steps down here. And students can write in their action steps for the year. Also, just want to point out that this document could be ongoing, updated as I get feedback and as I hear from others. So if you have some other idea, let me know. But again, you can put action steps here, and then students can list those out of what they're going to do to accomplish those different goals and how they're going to maybe do that. So that could be sometimes fun for your students to maybe do. And then if they accomplish their goal, let's celebrate and let's put in a date there. And again, these are kind of monthly goals. So by the next month, they'll have a September goal, October, November, December, and so on. Okay, so again, this goes throughout the entire year for students to kind of view. And then once you reach a goal, maybe you can kind of celebrate or reward those students based on what motivates them, that survey of the forced choice, and see what motivates your students and what kind of rewards they might like. Okay, if you don't want that tab, again, that little arrow, and you can hit delete and it will delete the whole tab. Maybe you just want to focus on a couple months at a time. And so you're going to have your students update this calendar. You can delete the rest of the calendars and then you can just update month by month. That's fine too. But again, that's going to be more work for your students. This next one is the communication journal. So the communication journal is a way for students to communicate with you. This is where they can maybe leave comments, questions, and maybe make suggestions about different class activities. This can also be a place for you to have them do like an exit ticket or leave it as needed. So if you wanted to, you could have your students email you and you could delete this tab, or you could write out directions for if they needed to email you or some type of communication plan. But if you wanted to use this, you would just have your students type here, they would put the date in, and then you can respond right here. So students respond here, put the date in, and then you would respond underneath. Once the student leaves a comment, I would suggest that they go over here and then they leave a comment of like, hi, and then they would type your name in, tag you, and then that way you know you have a comment, and then you can go in and respond to that student. Once you respond, you could say, I responded. reply, and then check mark. So that way the student gets an alert that you have looked over and you've responded to their question. Again, totally optional, so you can keep or get rid of that as well. And then iReady. So the next thing is iReady. And with iReady, students will come in here and they're going to type in a goal. So maybe this student's goal is 600 and they scored a 700. Students are able to see that they beat their goal just by typing in their scores of their iReady test. And they can do fall, winter, spring, and then math is over here. And then again, down here, they can type in how they did individually for all of the different domains. So kind of looking over the domains and seeing their growth over time. Same thing for math as well. And again, if you don't want this tab, you can totally delete it, or we can customize it. So maybe you don't want this, we can delete or hide it, or maybe you don't want this and we can delete or hide whatever you want. We're able to customize this. Just let me know what you're looking for. And then this evidence of learning. This is where students could put their most proud work. So maybe those projects, maybe those activities that they're super excited to share with you. Students are able to come in here, put the date, they can type what it is and then hyperlink it. So they would just type, and then to hyperlink it, they double click, and then they can click this little link and they can hyperlink whatever they want to link. And then they can explain why they are happy about that or why they're proud of it. So maybe you do this once or twice a month, or maybe you do it weekly. And students find some type of activity that they're really proud of. Or maybe you tell students, hey, this is an awesome piece. Let's go ahead and put it in your evidence of learning. And then you can work with the student to do that. This is also great for conferences. You're able to pull this data notebook up, pull up the evidence of learning, and you're able to have those conversations with those parents. You can also have the students share their data binder with parents if you wanted them to. And then the next one is just reading logs. So again, you can totally get rid of this or you can keep it. But right here is where students will type in their goal, and that is the only number that they're going to type is those yellow boxes. And I should probably actually make this black and this writing white. See, there's going to be updates all the time. And then I'm going to go in and make this yellow. Okay, so they are going to come in, they're going to do yellow boxes only. Okay, to have their thing update, they're going to go to their reading log and I'm just going to copy and paste this, and it's going to update their score. Okay, so once I copy and paste again, it's going to update my score again. And students can see their progress over time. You could do this by quarter, you could change it by yearly, however you wanted to do to see your students' growth. You're able to do that. So again, just a fun way for students to track their reading. However, if you don't want those, go ahead and delete both of those tabs. You will want to get rid of both of those tabs because these are connected together. All right, if you have questions or if you want to customize this for your own classroom, would be more than happy to help you with that. I just need to know what you're looking for. I'm also more than happy to come in with your students and co-teach alongside of you, working with this learner profile. So let me know how I can support you and what you need for this to be successful.